Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about data structures ninth lab program that is on singly circular linked list with header node concept. Okay, so in this particular ninth program, we are trying to implement the singly circular linked list with the polynomial concept. Okay, so this program is on designing, developing, and implementing a menu-driven program. Okay, it is not specified in the question, but normally, like other cases, we'll go with the menu-driven program itself because they have given two different operations. Okay, so we will be implementing a C program which is considered as menu-driven program for some of the operations on singly circular linked list. Okay, it is you can abbreviate that as SCLL, singly circular linked list with header node. Okay, so we are trying to implement the singly linked list concept, and also it is a circular singly linked list with the header node. Okay, so what are the operations to be performed using singly linked list is here we are considering the application of singly linked list, that is polynomial. So polynomial can be represented using singly linked list, and also it can be represented with singly circular linked list. So this program first operation is to represent and evaluate. This program is to first operation is to represent and evaluate a polynomial. So given polynomial, you have to represent that using singly circular linked list, and also you have to evaluate that particular polynomial. So what is given? Actually, they have given a format for polynomial representation. So normally, in some cases, your polynomial may have single variable, or it can also have two or three variables. So here P is considered with three variables, that is x, y, z. This is the example polynomial. Likewise, you have to give input in your program, that is 6x squared y squared z minus 4y, something like that. So where all the variables, that is we'll be having three variables. Okay, so you already know that polynomial will be having a coefficient and an exponential terms. So we have to represent that using singly linked list with a circular list concept. That is the first operation to represent that. And also there is a question mentioned, we have to evaluate the polynomial. So while evaluating the polynomial, suppose if I want to evaluate this particular polynomial, I should know the values of x, y, and z. Okay, so evaluation in the sense we have to substitute the values of x and y, and finally do the operation like addition or subtraction depending on the given polynomial, and finally get the integer result. That is the first operation. So second is to find the sum of two polynomials. So you will be given with the two polynomials, polynomial 1 and polynomial 2, and I have to perform the addition of two polynomials and store the final result in a variable called polynomial sum. Okay, finally after doing the addition, definitely you will be having three variables because our polynomial contains three variables. Okay, so these are the two operations to be performed in this particular program, and also they have mentioned that support the program with appropriate functions for each of the above operations. So we have to separately write the function for each of the operations and implement the singly linked list with circular header node concept. Okay, so before starting with the implementation, let us understand the concept. So when you consider singly linked list, you already know that linked list is a collection of nodes where every node will be having the data part and the link part. Okay. So when you consider the polynomial, what will be the node structure of the polynomial? Suppose if I consider a single polynomial, so polynomial will have the node structure depending on its coefficient and the exponential part. Okay, so normally your node structure will look like this. Okay, I just explain the node structure before proceeding. Okay, so this is the node structure considered for polynomial. Normally, polynomial will have the coefficient and the exponential for the given terms. Okay, so hence the data part for this particular example program or for the polynomial will be having two things. Okay, one is for the coefficient, that is the data part specified, and second one will be the exponential part. Okay, so we will be having two data elements present, and it is an example of singly linked list. Okay, when you have a singly linked list, you will be having only one link part or one pointer which will be pointing to the next node. So this is same related to the singly linked list concept which we studied earlier. Okay, so the only difference is the data part will be two elements here. One is the coefficient, another one is the exponential, followed by the link. Okay, suppose consider you have some text or some value like this, like 3x square plus 2y. Okay, suppose this is the given polynomial. So, or I'll just consider x itself, 2x. Okay, some plus 1. In this consider, when you consider this particular polynomial, we have three terms, that is 3x square plus 2x plus 1. So to represent that in the singly linked list concept, we will be having three nodes because it is having three terms in the polynomial given. It will be having three nodes. Okay, in every node I have to indicate the coefficient and exponential part. Okay, what is the coefficient and exponential for the first term? We will initially start with the first term. Okay, first term in our given polynomial is 3x square. Okay, so coefficient is 3 and exponential is 2. So this is how we will be indicating the coefficient and exponential. Similarly, go with the next term. So we have three terms in the given polynomial. So when you go with the next term, 2 is the coefficient and 1 is the exponential. Okay, that is the second term. Similarly, when you represent another polynomial, what is the last term? Last term is having coefficient 1 and exponential is 0 because it is x to the power of 0. Here it will be indicated as 0. And it is an example of a singly linked list where the last node will be indicated with the null value. Link part of the last node will be indicated with null. Okay, so this is the general representation when you consider the node structure of a polynomial. But according to the example, when you look at the question, you can see there are three terms specified here. Okay, since there are three terms, what happens to the node structure? Okay, so the data part gets increased. Okay, earlier when the previous example we have considered only x. Okay, suppose if you have three terms, the exponential terms and coefficient terms representation will slightly change. Okay, so first you will have the coefficient term and you have to indicate the exponential terms for each of the variables. Suppose if you have x coefficient, x exponential, indicate that x exponential. Okay, so then followed by y, we have to specify y exponential, and similarly write it for z exponential. Okay, I just indicated as z expo. This is the exponential for z and followed by the link part. Okay, so for the given example, for our example, when you consider the node structure, so this is the node structure because we have three variables x, y, and z. Okay, so there will be a coefficient x term, y term, sorry, x exponential, y exponential, and the z exponential, followed by the link to the next node. Okay, so every node in this example for this program, we will be having this node structure. Okay, so according to the question, they have also mentioned that it should be a circular singly linked list. Okay, circular singly links along with the header node concept. Okay, so we will understand the concept. Okay, as of now, when you consider the polynomial, we know that we have an exponential part and the coefficient part. and along with the link part. Okay, so coming to the concept of header nodes are the nodes which will be pointing to the starting node in your linked list. Okay, according to this example, consider we have 3x to the power of 14 plus 2x to the power of 8 plus 1. This is the diagram B I am explaining. So when you consider this example, polynomial has three terms, indicating that we have three nodes, each of the node containing coefficient and its exponential part. And when you look at the header node will be always pointing to the first node in the linked list. Okay. And what happens to the data part of header node? Header node will not have data part, it will be indicated as empty. Okay, this hyphen indicates that it is indicated as empty node, and it will be always pointing to the first node in the linked list. Okay, so suppose if the polynomial is empty, we don't have any terms. If you have a zero polynomial, so look at this diagram. It is a header node with no data item indicated, and also in the question they have mentioned that it should be a circular singly linked list. So what is the difference between singly linked list and circular singly linked list is, so when you consider the singly linked list, so last node will be indicated as null. Okay. Suppose if you want to change that to circular, in that case, what happens here? This link part will come back to the first node. It will come back to it will point back to the first node to make it circular. Okay. So that is the difference between singly linked list and circular singly linked list. In circular singly linked list, last node link part will be pointing back to the first node. Okay, so we have to implement a polynomial program using circular singly linked list concept. Okay, suppose if you have only header node available, what happens in that case? The right link or the link of this particular header node will be pointing to itself. Suppose if the polynomial is zero polynomial, or when it is empty, when you don't have any terms. Okay, so header node will be pointing to itself. When it is pointing to itself, it indicates that there are no terms given in the polynomial. Okay, so look at the second example B. Header node is initially pointing to the first node, and what happens to the link part of last node? Look at the link part of the last node. It is pointing back to the header node because it is a circular linked list. Okay, so in the circular linked list, in our example, what happens? So there will be a header node. Okay, so this header node will be pointing to the first node. Okay, it will be pointing to the first node, and there are no data items indicated for header node, and the last node will not point to the first node, it will now point to the header node. Okay, that is the concept we are implementing here. So in this example, last node will point to the header node. Okay. So with this concept, when you look at the when you look at the node structure of an exponential or the given polynomial terms, so we have coefficient part, x exponential, y exponential, and the z exponential part. Along with that, we will be having the link part. Okay, so this we have to represent the particular thing, and we have to create this kind of linked list. Okay. So look at the example. I'm just considering an example here, that is 3xyz plus 1. This is the given input. Okay, we have to create the linked list, that is the circular linked list along with the header node concept. Okay, and the node structure is considered like this. Okay, we have 4 data elements and 1 link part. So how this will be represented in linked list? So that is, you can look at this diagram. Initially, this is the header node. When you consider the header node, definitely you don't have any data part specified here. It is empty, and its link part will be now pointing to the first node. What is the first node? First node is first term in the polynomial. According to our example, we have considered 3xyz as the first term in the polynomial. So first is look at the node structure. Using this node structure, we have to fill that. Okay, 3 is the coefficient, and what is x exponential? It is equal to 1. Y exponential is also equal to 1, and z exponential is also equal to 1. Okay, so after you complete the data part, next is to identify the link. Okay, so what I am doing here, initially I am just considering 3xyz as the only term available. Okay, so consider we have only 3xyz as our term. Okay, when you have only single node available or the single term available in the polynomial, the link part of that particular node will be pointing back to the header node because it is a circular list. Okay, suppose consider after this node, after 3xyz node, I just want to add a node. Suppose I want to add +1 to the polynomial. In that case, there should be a node created and this should be appended to the right side of this particular node. Okay, so I have considered the same example here. Okay, so we are trying to add 1 to the right side of 3xyz. So 1 is exponential, sorry, 1 is coefficient. And what about the exponential terms for xyz? All the terms are equal to 0. It is x to the power of 0, y to the power of 0, and z to the power of 0. Okay, and we have to change this link part, and also previous link should be changed. Okay, so since 1 is getting added to the 3xyz node, what happens to the link part here? So the link, okay, you can consider the link part of this will now point to node 1. Okay, it will now point to the node, and since this becomes 1 becomes my last node, it should now point back to the header node because to create the circular list concept. Okay, so this link part will be now pointed to the header node. Okay, I'll just indicate like this. So it is now pointing back to the header node. Okay, so this is how your polynomial can be represented with singly linked list along with the circular representation with header node concept. Only thing you have to remember here, for every polynomial given, how many you have to identify how many number of terms are present. So for each of the terms you will be having the node, and this is the node structure, and also it will be having the link to the next node. Since it is a circular singly linked list, the last node link part should point back to the header node. Okay, so always the link of header node will be pointing to the first node in the linked list. That is the concept. So first one is to represent the given polynomial using the circular singly linked list concept. What is the next thing? Second question they have mentioned is we have to evaluate the given polynomial. So for evaluating the given polynomial, I just need to substitute the values of x, y, z. They should be specified by the user. Okay. Suppose consider for this particular example, if I just specify the value of x, y, z to be equal to 1, just substitute the values of x, y, z, it will be 3 into 1, 1, 1. Okay, all will be multiplied plus 1. The final result will be equal to 4. Okay, this is the first operation, that is the evaluation. While writing the implementation part, you have to specify what is the value of x, y, z. Okay, that should be mentioned. So according to first question, we have considered representing and also evaluating the given polynomial based on the given values of x, y, z. That is first operation. So now we have to check for the second operation, that is performing addition of two polynomials. Okay, so for doing the addition, as of now, we will consider insertion from the rear end. Okay, because see here, what we have considered, we considered 3xyz plus 1. Okay, 1 should be added to the right part because it is in the reduced exponential form. Okay, so earlier exponential was equal to 1. Afterwards, exponential is equal to 0. It is considered as x to the power of 0. Okay, so 0 is lesser compared to the previous exponential term. Hence, while doing the insertion also, we will go with inserting the values in decreasing exponential form. Okay, for example, how do you specify? Suppose if you specify 3x to the power of 2, consider you are specifying, one second, you are specifying 3x square. Afterwards, what should be my exponential? It should be reduced to 2x. Okay, I'll just consider it as 2x to the power of 1, or you can directly consider it as x 2x, that is also enough. Okay, so when you consider this, you can see we are just inserting the nodes in the reduced form of exponential. Earlier it was x to the power of 2, then we have reduced it to x. Okay, so exponential should be inserted in the decreasing order. So when you insert in the decreasing order, it will be inserted in the rear end. Okay, so this is the best example where one is inserted at the right part or the rear end of the particular node available. Okay, so this we have to follow in this particular program. So it should be inserted in the decreasing order of exponential. So next is we have to perform addition of two polynomials. So you already know adding two polynomials. Whenever we want to add two polynomials, we have to check with the exponential part of both the polynomials. So A is the first polynomial 3xyz plus 1 and B is the second polynomial 4xyz plus 2. So we will check for the exponential terms for each of the variables available. Okay, if it is equal, directly I can add those two terms. Okay, so when you look at the first term, 3xyz and 4xyz, both the exponentials are equal, I can directly add those things. That is, after adding, it becomes 7xyz. Similarly, you check with the exponentials of these terms, second terms, it is also equal. Okay, when it is equal, directly I can add those two things and add it to a final result, that will be equal to 3. Okay, so this is the result after adding the particular polynomial. It is a resultant polynomial. So according to the question, you have to evaluate the polynomial. So what is the method we are following in this program is, I'm just giving the values of x, y, z, and we are evaluating the resultant polynomial. So it is not mandatory that we have to add the or we have to evaluate the resultant polynomial itself. You can also just give any one of the polynomial for evaluation. Okay, any polynomial should be evaluated according to the question. As of now, we are just considering the resultant polynomial and we are giving the values of the x, y, z for doing the evaluation operation. Okay, so your input should be like this. Okay, where you have to specify the three variables x, y, z. Okay, so while doing the addition operation, it is not only that we have to check with whether it is equal. Even if it is not equal, we have to take care of all those cases. Okay, so what are the cases you may get? Consider an example like this. So earlier we compared only the exponential for x. Suppose you have only x terms, comparison is easy. Suppose if you have multiple terms like x, y, z, you have to compare different cases here. What is the comparison? Let us understand that for the initial case of x. So when you are comparing x, you can see you have 2 in the first polynomial and in the second polynomial you have 1. Okay, I'm considering both the polynomials and in both the polynomials I'm just considering the first terms. Okay, so consider only x. When you consider x, first it is having exponential 2 and next is it is having exponential 1. So in this case, we will be performing the comparison operation. So it is almost similar to the string comparison operation. Okay, maybe you have studied string compare operation. Here, what happens if 2 is greater than, according to this example, 2 is greater than 1. Okay, when 2 is greater than 1, what I'll be returning? I'll be returning the value equal to 1. Okay, what are the return values of string compare? You'll be getting either 1, 0 or -1. Okay, so this logic we have to apply in the program. Let us understand why this is required in the program as well. Okay, I'm comparing 2 with 1. Since it is greater, it will be returning the value 1. Suppose if you get a situation where 2 is less than 1, maybe suppose you may get the situation like this, or if 1 is less than 2. In such case, you have to return the value which is equal to -1. Okay. Suppose if both are equal, if 2 is equal to 2, in that case, I may get the situation or I may get the value which is equal to 0. Okay. This is a string comparison operation. Even though you are having same operation, I have to verify that for all the values, that is x, y, and z. Okay, so totally you will be having 9 different comparisons. So this should be repeated for y and z also. Okay, so the thing is, whenever you are comparing the things, if it is equal, then only I can do the addition of coefficient. If it is not equal, I'll be returning any one of the value for just appending that term. Okay, so we shall understand this particular concept with the program. So as of now, we will be doing two different operations. One is to evaluate the polynomial and also represent that using circular singly linked list. And second operation is to perform the addition of two polynomials by comparison of its terms. Okay, so let us understand this with the implementation. Okay, start with the initial declaration, header files, specify the header files required. Okay, so now we shall define the structure. Okay, structure I'll consider it as C list, circular list. Okay, and specify the data part. Here you know the data part, it is the coefficient term and x exponential, y exponential, z exponential. Okay, so this is the data part. Then we have to specify the link part. Okay, link is considered for same as the previous cases, that is the self-referential structure. Okay, so this is the structure declaration. Then define the variable. Globally define the variable of the structure. Struct clist star node. Okay. So this is the structure declaration. Using this, let us go with your main function first. Okay, void main. So we will follow the same method like the menu-driven program. So initially, I'll specify a is equal to null because it is the first polynomial and still we have not executed anything and still we have not read the values of any of the polynomial terms. Initially, it is equal to empty. Okay, so a is a node because it is a structure variable. It can hold all the values of data and the link part. Okay, similarly, I'll define b and c. Okay, so A is the first polynomial, B is the second polynomial, C is the final resultant polynomial after doing the addition. Okay, so go with the while one to display all the choices. Okay, so first operation we will consider represent first polynomial. Okay, so second operation is represent second polynomial. Then after representing, we have to display that. So third, we will go with the display of A. Okay, first represent first polynomial. I'll just consider first polynomial as A. The second polynomial is B. Okay, so third operation is to display A, that is the first polynomial. and fourth operation is to display the second polynomial called b. Okay, so then fifth operation is to add a and b polynomials. Then sixth operation is to evaluate. Okay, so either you can evaluate polynomial A, polynomial B, or you can also specify the resultant polynomial. It is not mandatory that I have to specify C only here. C is the resultant polynomial. If you want, you can also evaluate A and B. It is not specified in the question. Any one of the polynomial you have to evaluate. Okay, so finally that is the exit case. Then next is to enter the choice by user. Get the choice via scanner. We have specified only CH, so I'll just consider it as CH. Then specify switch case CH. So case 1 is represent the first polynomial. So for representing the first polynomial, I should read the polynomial first. Okay, enter the elements, means all the terms of polynomial A to be read. For doing that, I'm just calling another function. Okay, so here another function called read polynomial is called. So we have to write the function definition for this. Okay, this is read polynomial. It is a function call. Still, we have not written the function definition. Okay, then come out of the program. Similarly, go with the case 2. So case 2 is to read the second polynomial. Enter the terms, all the terms of the second polynomial to be read. That is polynomial b. Okay, so here I'll be calling the same read function. So we have to write the function definition for that. It is a function call. Okay, so then you can come out of the particular case via break. Then case 3 is to display. I'll just call the display function with the input argument a, because we have to display a. That is case 3. Then come out of the case 3. What is case 4? Case 4 is to display polynomial b. Then just come out of that case. Then case 5 is to add two polynomials. So while adding the two polynomials, the resultant should be stored in C. Hence, I'll just write it as C is equal to add polynomial A and B is the input parameter. Okay. So this is the function call. We have to write the definition. Okay. So after you add the two polynomials, you have to print the resultant polynomial. It should be displayed. The sum of two polynomials. Okay, this is only for the display purpose. Is slashing. What we need to print here, that the result is stored in C, variable C. Okay, so this is case 5, and case 6 is evaluate the polynomial. I'm just calling the function evaluate. We have to write the function definition. Okay, so then come out of the particular case break. What is case 7 is the exit case. Just write the return statement. Okay, so then close the switch case, close while loop, and the main function. Okay, so in the main function we have called a lot of functions, reading the polynomial and doing some of the operations like display, adding the polynomial. So for all of this, we have to write the function definitions. So we will start with read polynomial. Okay, I'll write it before main to avoid the function declaration. So node, we are considering the node here because it is a structure variable. The return type is considered as a structure node. Why it is considered? Because after a polynomial is created, it should return the starting address of the node. Okay, and it should be considered as a structure variable. And we are reading the polynomial. Okay. So for doing that, we'll define the temporary variable. Temporary variable is for creating the new node, and we need a header node, and also we are considering another variable called current. We should check why it is required. And so all the terms here can be your character type or it can be your exponential. Okay, so here we will consider character ch for fetching the new choices. Okay, let us understand with the implementation. Okay, and we will start with the creation of the header node first because it is a circular linked list representation with the header node concept. Header node should be created. So here, whenever we call a function or whenever we write reading a polynomial or adding the polynomial, so we have to call the malloc function multiple times. So to avoid calling malloc function multiple times, I'll just call the function called get node. Okay, so this is just a function call. We have to write the function definition for get node. Okay, so let us write function definition for get node first, then we will continue for the read polynomial. Okay, so the return type is also a structure type. Okay, so get node is the function. So this is a function written for creating a node with the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so rather than calling malloc multiple times, you can just call this get node function whenever you need creation of a node. Okay, so that here I just consider the variable called x, which is a structure variable. So there should be a malloc function called here for allocating the memory for the node. The size of struct clist. This is for x. Okay, then return the node address of the node x. Okay, so why we are using this get node function? It is to create a new node and allocate the memory for it. That is the only job of this function. So rather than calling malloc every time for each of the polynomial terms, we will write the function here. Okay, so here I'm just calling that get node function. Okay, so when it is called, it will go to the definition and allocate the memory for the node and assign it to the header node. Okay, header node will be created and memory will be allocated for the header node. Okay, so after header node is created, as you already know, header node will be not having the data part. Okay, the data part will be empty. We cannot write it as empty here. So what we can do here, so we can specify -1 rather than considering that as empty. Okay, so usually header node values will be considered as -1 to indicate that there is no data specified in that node. So what are the data part? We have coefficient part. We will assign it to -1. Okay, then after coefficient, we have to indicate x exponential. Okay, so here while specifying the exponential, whether it is x exponential, either you can directly write it as x exponential, y exponential, and z exponential. I'll just do slight modification here. Okay, coefficient is int, and while specifying the exponential, instead of specifying it as x exponential, y exponential, and z exponential, I just indicate it as x, y, z. Okay, so to avoid lengthy names, it is not mandatory that you have to specify as it is. You can change. It is just a variable name. Okay, it is exponential for x, y, and z. Okay, hence when it is defined like that, now I can, instead of typing completely as x exponential, I can directly write it as x. Okay, so exponential x exponential for header node is also empty, hence it is indicated as -1, and y is also treated as -1. It is an empty node. Still, we have not appended any value. Okay, so z is also -1. So this is the initial value. Okay, so initial data part for the header node. Header node is an empty case. Data node will be indicated with the -1. Okay, and also I have to specify the link part for the header node. Okay, so since it is a circular list, header node will be referring to itself when we don't have any terms present. As of now, we have not added any polynomial terms, hence header node will be pointing to itself. Okay, so it is self-reference. Why it is a self-reference? Because it is empty. Okay, I can consider that as zero polynomial. No terms have been added yet. Okay, this is the initial condition. Afterwards, if you want to add terms, then you continue. Okay, so while adding the terms, definitely I have to create the node first. How do I create the node? Earlier we were calling the malloc function and writing the complete things, but now I have written a separate function called get node. Then I can directly call that function get node. Okay, so now to create a polynomial, a temporary node is created and memory is allocated for the temporary node. Okay, so using this temporary node, now I have to assign the terms of the polynomial. Okay, while assigning the terms, you have to enter the coefficients and exponential terms of the polynomial. Okay, exponent in decreasing order. As I have already explained why it is in decreasing order, exponential, enter it in decreasing order. Okay, because highest exponential terms will be displayed first. Whenever you write in mathematics also, polynomial highest exponential terms will come first, followed by the lowest exponential terms. Hence, it should be mentioned like that. Okay, so now get the details of the exponential and the coefficient. So all the values, exponential and coefficient is indicated as integer in the structure declaration. Hence, you can consider that as percentage %d only. One is for the coefficient. Next, we should have three percentage %d for x, y, and z. Okay. So since it is integer type, we have to specify ampersand. For temporary node, we are assigning the values. One is for the coefficient, next is for x term, and next is for y term. Then last one is for the z term. Okay, tempo z. So here we have assigned the data. Okay, so data assignment is completed. After data assignment is completed, so you already know it should be appended to your linked list. As of now, linked list is only having the header node which is pointing to itself. But now you are creating a node with the polynomial term, that is first term of the polynomial. This should be appended to the right side of the header node, because header node will be pointing to the first node. Now you are creating the first node, header node. To the right of the header node, we have to add this temporary node. So for adding that, I have to find out the last node. Okay, last node should be found out. So for doing that, I'll start with the header node. Okay, suppose if you have already multiple terms present, already suppose if you have two or more terms present, in that case you have to identify the last node. How do I identify the last node? By identifying the link part. Okay, so what is the difference between singly linked list and circular singly linked list? So singly linked list, when you consider the last node, its link part was equal to null. But when you consider the circular singly linked list, what happens to the link part? Maybe I have told you this. Yeah. So see the link part. How do I identify the last node? When the link part of that node is pointing to header node, then I can say it is the last node. Okay. So for appending a node, when you are appending a node to the right side, I have to identify the last node. Okay. So how do I identify? I'll start from the header node. Okay, because you have to start from the first node for searching the last node. So we will start from the first node. What is my first node? It is equal to header. Okay, and I'll do the repetition until I find the last node. Okay, when the link of that is not equal to header node. Okay, so last node will be identified when link of that will be equal to header node. If it is not equal, I'll just move to the next node. Okay, so this is the logic for finding the last node. For finding the last node, this is the last node. Okay, I'll just indicate it here. So for finding the last node. So after finding the last node, next is you have to append that to the last node. Okay, consider you have an example node. I'll just write the example here. Consider you have a term called 10 in the linked list available. So earlier the link of, if it is only the node available, if it is the node available, the link of this was pointing to the header node. But now you are trying to add another node, that is the temporary node. When you add a temporary node to the right side of this particular node, what happens? The link of this 20 should not now point to header node, indicating that 20 is my last node because it is getting added to the right side of 10. Okay, so we have to do the modifications now for appending that to the last node. Okay, so what happens? Current will give you the address of the last node. Using current, now I'm changing the value of link. Okay, so last node link will now point to 10. Okay, what is 10? This is my last node. 10 was my last node, and temp is the new node which I'm trying to append. Okay, this 10 link is now pointing to temp. Okay, temp is the node which you are trying to add it to the last. Okay, that is after 10 you are trying to add. So hence we are changing the link of this 10 to 20. After that, what happens to the link of 20? This should point to header node. Why it should point to header node? Because it is a circular list. Always the last node should point to header node. For doing that, we'll be writing temp of link should point to header. Okay. Last node links to header node. Okay, so these are the two important lines to be understood properly. Okay, current is the last node. So using that current, we are trying to append a new node to the right of that. Okay, hence the current link should now point to the new node that is equal to 20. Okay, when 20 becomes the last node, to indicate the last node in the circular list, its link part should point to header node. Okay, hence for doing that, the temp is the new node and its link is pointing to header node because that is my last node. The last node link now points to the header node which creates the circular list. Okay, so this is the complete implementation of reading a polynomial and also appending that to header node and making it as a circular list. Afterwards, if you just want to continue, okay, so when you want to continue, I can specify an option given for the user if they want to enter few other terms. Do you want to enter more terms? Specify yes or no. Okay, this is an option given for the user, and we will be clearing the input buffer since we are using the characters here y and n. Okay, any buffer, any if any characters is present in the input buffer, it will be cleared. Flush will clear all the input buffer, standard input buffer. Then scanf is to read the choice for the user. Okay, so they will be indicating the choice. Hence, you can see we have defined the character ch. If they want to continue, they will type y. Otherwise, they will continue. They will type it as no. Okay, so this is do loop while condition. What is the while condition? We will continue when it is equal to either capital Y or if it choice is equal to small letter y. Any one of the case we can specify to continue. Do while loop will be continued. Otherwise, we will just return the address of the header node, which will give the address of the starting node. Okay. So this is the implementation for reading the polynomial. Initially, go with the header node, create the header node, and assign the data part and link part. Afterwards, start doing the implementation for creating the new node and assign the data part, and also you specify the changes in the link part to be made. Okay, since it is insertion at the right, okay, insertion at the end. This operation is insertion at the end because already we have a header node. So new node should be appended to the right side. Right side indicates it is insertion at the end operation. Okay, we are trying to insert at the end. So for doing insertion at the end, we are finding out the last node. After you find the last node, then you append the new node to the right of the last node, and also you change the link of the new node, that is the last node created. So the link of that node will be now pointing to the header node. Afterwards, if you wish to continue, you can specify yes via the scanf statement, fetch the value. If it is yes, while loop gets repeated. Otherwise, we are going to come out of that program by returning the address of the header node. Okay, so this is the function for reading the polynomial. Okay, so maybe when you go with case 1 we have read function, and case 2 also we have read function. So then we have to go with the display operation. Suppose you want to display the polynomial, we will write the function definition for the display. Okay, void display. There is input parameter specified, that is the address of the header node. Either you can consider same value, or you can also specify different name. I just consider it as equal to ptr and define the temporary variable called current. Okay, so here also, while specifying the display of each of the node, we will start from the first node and we will reach till the last node. How do I identify the last node? By identifying its link part. When the link part of the last node is equal to header node, because it is a circular singly linked list, in that case we have to stop at that particular point. Okay, so hence, and also you know that initially we are passing the address of header node. PTR will contain the address of header node. How do you come to know that? Already you see in the display. Okay, in display we are passing the address of that A. A will contain the starting address, that is the header node address. Okay, so display will not start with the header node. We cannot, because there is no item indicated in header node. The display should start from the first node. Okay, since your current holds the address, or PTR holds the address of the header node, I should not start with PTR. I should start with the next node of your PTR. Okay, so what is the next node after PTR? That is after header node. It is your first node. Okay, so PTR link will get the first node, that is after your header node. PTR will get the address of header node, and now current will be pointing to first node. Okay, so we have to repeat until you find the last node. So when current is not equal to header node, so when the link of last node points to header node, it indicates that list is the end of the list. Okay, so this while loop gets repeated until you display all the node details. Okay, when last node is reached, what happens? Current will be equal to its header node. Okay, here we are writing when current is not equal to header node. What is PTR? PTR will hold the address of the header node. Okay, so now you print the details. Printf %d. Okay, so here while printing, I'll be printing the coefficient and exponential. First is coefficient, next is x exponential. Okay, x to the power of %d into, this is only for the display purpose, y to the power of %d. Okay, after y into z to the power of %d. It will just display like coefficient, then x exponential, y exponential, and z exponential. Okay, so then close it. What is the first term? Current of coefficient, current of x exponential, then y exponential, then z exponential. Okay, then close this. Then initially we will start with the header node. Afterwards, we have to just move for the next node. Okay. So for moving to the next node, we will be moving via its link part. Okay. So if your current is not equal to header node, okay, if it is not equal to header node, in between I should have plus symbol, because when you look at each of the terms, after I print the first term, next term should have plus symbol. Suppose if you have 3xyz, afterwards if you have another term, you will be having plus something. Okay, so to display that plus, we are just indicating in the printf statement. Okay, so if your current is not equal to header node, add plus in between. For each of the term, in between you will be having the plus symbol. Okay, it is only for the display purpose. Then end the loop, then end the display. Okay, so display will start from the first node, that is the node which is present after my header node. Okay, repeat this step until you find the last node. Okay, when you find the last node, current will be equal to your header node, then come out of the particular function. Okay, so this is the display function. So we are done with display, then we will go with addition of two polynomials. So node add polynomial. What are the input for adding two polynomials? Input is I should have two polynomials, polynomial A and polynomial B. Initially, declare few of the variable to differentiate the starting point of A, that is the starting address of A, and we'll consider C for storing the final result, and last C is for identifying the last node in the resultant polynomial. Okay, then go with initializing the sum. It is not initialized, it is just the variable declaration. Then done is initialized to 0. Okay, let us understand why done is required later. Then start A is equal to A. Start A will hold the address of first polynomial A. Okay, so afterwards, then we have, since it is a circular list with the header node, A will have the address of header node and B will also have the address of header node. But we cannot add our header node. Additions should start from the first terms in the polynomial. So for doing that, we have to move from header node to the first node. How do I move from header node to the first node? By its link part. So A is equal to A link. Similarly, B is equal to B link. Okay. So this will give you the first terms in the polynomial. First terms in A and B. Okay. So then finally I have to create C. So C is initially created and it is a resultant polynomial. Initially I'll just create an empty node, okay, by calling the get node function and randomly assign a header node for it. Okay, C should also have a header node. The resultant polynomial should have the header node along with other nodes. Okay, so C is equal to get node will create a temporary node C and allocate the memory for it. Okay, it is the initial header node. We have to assign the value for its data part, that is exponential and the coefficient. Okay, so for header node already we know there will not be any data indicated for that, hence it is equal to -1 for the coefficient and also for the exponential part it is -1, then for z also it is -1, and this is the initial condition. Okay. Afterwards, we'll define a variable called larc, which will hold the address of the header node of C. Okay. So this is to differentiate. We have to create the circular list here. While creating the circular list, the last node address should come back to the header node. Okay. For doing that, initially we are just finding out and we are assigning the address of C to the last variable. Let us understand how it is appended when to create the circular list. Okay, so then we will go with the switch case. Okay, so as you already know, when you want to add two polynomials, I have to compare the polynomials, that is the exponential terms of two polynomials should be compared. Here we are calling a function called compare. Okay, this is the compare function. Compare function call. Okay, so compare function call, it is similar to comparing the string comparison operation. It will compare the two terms and it will return the result. Okay, so before continuing this, let us complete the compare function. Okay, then we can easily understand. I'll just write the function definition for compare. Okay, exponential should be compared. So as you already know, when strings are equal, the return value is 0. When first string is less than the second string, return value is -1. When first string is greater than the second string, the return value is equal to 1. Okay, so now we are comparing not only one of the variable, we are comparing it for the three variables, that is x, y, and z. Okay, so input for this particular function is two input arguments, that is node A and node B. Those are the address of the polynomial A and polynomial B. Okay, so then we have to check for the conditions. Okay, if in polynomial A, when you consider the exponential for x term and next you compare that if it is greater than the exponential of B polynomial, that is the first term. So if it is greater, you know that string compare function will return -1, else you have another situation. Else if A term exponential for x is less than the exponential of x in B, in that case, if it is less than condition, what we have to return? String compare will return -1, else. So similarly, we also check for the y condition. Okay, so if exponential of y is greater than the term in B, what happens? It will return 1. Okay, else if A for y term, if it is less than y exponential, okay, it will return -1. It is string compare return function, return values. Okay, similarly check for z. If your x exponential in A is less than, okay, starting which one we have taken? We have taken greater than. I'll just take the greater than condition. If it is greater than the y exponential in polynomial B, then return 1. Else if A or if z exponential in A is less than y exponential in B, z exponential it is. Here only I have missed out. Okay, so we have checked for x, y, and z. Okay, in that case, what we have to return? Return 1. Okay, so this is the case. For x we have checked for the greater, and lesser condition. For Y we have checked for greater than lesser condition. For Z we have checked for greater and lesser condition. So we still have another case where it will be equal condition. Okay, when both the terms are equal. In that case, in all other case, after this else if conditions, all other remaining cases will be equal conditions. Okay, when both are equal, no need of again specifying if a x term is equal to b term. Directly I can go with in all other cases return 0. Okay, all other cases will be the equal condition. So this is the string compare or the compare function which will compare the exponential terms for x, y, and z. Depending on that, it will return the values. Okay, greater it should have a return value 1, lesser it should have minus 1. Okay, so maybe we have missed here. Okay, it should be minus 1. Lesser minus 1, greater 1. Okay, check with all the cases. Less minus 1, greater 1. Okay, so this is the compare function which will return the value for the switch case. Now we will continue addition function. So in switch case we will get the values depending on the compare function. What are the possible return values? Either I can get 1 or I can get minus 1 or I can get 0. Okay. Hence here depending on the return values we will have three cases, that is case minus 1 and case 0. Okay. Because we have only three return values. And next is case 1. Okay, so when do we get case minus 1? Look at this. Minus 1 will be got only when exponential of a is lesser than the exponential of b. Okay, so in that case, when it returns minus 1, definitely we are going to attach the b terms. Okay, when a is lesser, then what should be attached first? B exponential terms or B terms should be attached. Okay. So in case minus 1, it indicates B is greater, hence B value is returned. Okay. Here we are going to attach. We are calling a function called attach. Okay. And passing the values of B terms, B exponentials and B coefficient X, and similarly for Y and for z. Okay, so this is the function call. We have to write the function definition and we are passing the address of a variable called last c. Okay, so last c will be according to our initialization. It is a variable which holds the address of the header node of c. Okay, so this is the attach function call. We have to write the function definition. We will write the function definition for this later. Okay, so when first b term gets added, what happens? I have to move for the next term in b. Suppose you have some value like 2x to the power of 1. So that b term gets added. Okay, so after adding the b term, what happens? One of the term is already attached to your final result, and then you have to just move for the next location. So how do you move to the next location? By its link part. Okay, so this is the first case where b terms get attached when b terms are higher values. Okay, suppose if both the terms are equal. Okay, this is the situation where you'll be adding your coefficients. Okay, so exponent, when you are adding two polynomials, you will compare the exponential terms. If it is equal, then only you are going to add the coefficient terms. Here is the case. Case 0 will come when both the coefficients a and b terms are equal. Okay, so when it is equal, we have to sum up the coefficient terms. For doing that, initially check if start a, okay, start a is equal to a, we say that done is equal to 1. So we should have some exit case. Look at initial case. Done is initially considered to be equal to 0. Okay, and start is initialized to header node. So when do we stop? What is the stopping criteria here is, suppose if the value of start is equal to a, means it is pointing to header node. In that case, it says that all the terms have been added and final result is computed. When final result is computed, start will be pointing to the header node, and in that case done will be equal to 1. So this is an exit case. Let us understand with the do while loop. When writing the while loop condition, you will understand why it is required. Okay. Then we will just go with the else case because we have to do the sum operation here. So sum is equal to what should be added? We have to add the coefficient of A plus coefficient of B. Okay, so if you have a sum available, if sum is true, if condition will be true, okay, if it is 0, I cannot continue. If it is true, if it is having the value, then you call the attach function. So what we have to attach, we have to pass the sum as a coefficient, that is the new coefficient after doing addition. Okay, so new coefficient is sum. So here exponential, either you can pass the exponential of A or you can also pass the exponential of B because both the exponentials are equal. Okay, and also pass the address of C, that is the address of your header node for C, that is the final resultant. Okay, so here a term for now when you call the attach function, both the terms from A and B is added and it is finally appended to C. Okay, so when it is appended to C, what happens to the terms? We have to continue from the next term in the polynomial. Okay, one of the terms have been added. We have to move for the next term. How do we move? By its link part. Okay, so A is one term is added and also B's term is added. Now we are moving for the next node in the linked list. Okay, so this is how we can move to the next link. So this is case uh, 0, just break, okay, then go with the case -1. So case -1 is a situation where you will be appending the terms A, okay. So when A is case 1, right? Okay. So it is case 1. So when A terms are greater than B, then it is returning 1. In that case, we will be adding the greater terms. What is the greater term? It will be A terms. Okay. So call the attach function here for sending the values of A term. Case -1, we will be attaching B terms. Case 0, we will be attaching our added terms. Case 1, we will be adding the A terms. Okay. So A coefficient AX, then AY and Z. Okay. And also the address of last C. Okay, because it should be added to C, we are just getting that via the address of C. So after a term in A gets added to result, final result, we just have to move for the next node. How do we move to the next node? By its link part. Okay, when any one of the terms get added to final result, definitely we should continue with the next terms. For continuing, we are just moving to the next nodes, next terms in the particular polynomial. Okay, so next, how can we move? By its link part. So these are the three cases, which case I am ending, and now while loop should be do while loop should be returned. Okay, so when all the terms have been added, done becomes equal to 1. Okay, this is the case. So when done becomes equal to 1, what happens? This while condition becomes false, then it will come out of the do while loop. Okay, this is the condition. So once all the terms have been added, what happens to the link part of last C? Last C will hold the address of the last node after doing all the insertion because we are passing the address of variable last C. Okay, so to create the circular list, what happens to the link part of this? This should now point to the header node. Okay, after a complete polynomial resultant variable C is present, it will hold the addition of all the terms. Okay, so last C will hold the address of the last node. Its link should now point back to the header node because to create the circular linked list concept. Okay, so last C will now, what is C? C will hold the address of my header node. Okay, hence you can see we are just changing the value of link to the to point to header node. Okay, then you just return the address of C, that is the resultant polynomial. Okay, so this is the addition function. Okay, there is some addition here. I just delete it. Okay, this is the addition function, adding of two polynomial. So in adding of two polynomial, we have called attach function. Okay, this attach function definition should be written. I'll just write the attach function definition. Okay, so there were how many terms we have passed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 terms should be included here. Void attach. What is my first term? It is the coefficient. What is the second term? It is x coefficient, sorry, x exponential and y exponential. I'm just considering that as x1, x2, x1, y1, z1. It is not mandatory that you have to specify like that. And last is we are passing the address of the node. Okay, hence it is considered as a structure variable called PTR. Okay, so here while doing the attach operation, we have to just create the temporary node for attaching these terms. Okay, we have to create a node and assign all this data part and then link it to our header node. Okay, so node for doing that, I'm just creating a temporary variable, and that temporary variable we have to allocate the memory and create the node, call the get node function which creates and allocates the memory for it, and assign the coefficient part. What is the coefficient? This is CF. It is returned by the function. Okay, and then for temp we have to assign x, that is x1, and for temp we have to assign y, which is y1, and for temp we have to assign z, which is equal to z1. Okay, afterwards then I have to assign the link part. Okay, so PTR will hold the address of that last C. Okay, what happens to its link part? Okay, PTR link, because you are appending it to the right. Okay, because header node is already present, some of the terms may already be present. This temporary node is the new node which you are creating for this particular node. This should be appended to the right side of this particular node which you are getting the address from the function call. Okay, suppose consider an example. Consider you have 10, 20. Okay, so this PTR will hold the address of 20, and consider a temporary node which you are creating now is equal to 40. Suppose 40 is getting added to the right of 20. What happens to the link of this 20? It should now point to 40, because 40 is the node which is getting appended to 20. Hence, what happens to the link of PTR? It will be now pointing to temp. Temp is, as of now, example you can consider 40 is my temp, it is getting added after 20. So PTR will be pointing to 20. Its link is changed. Okay. Once that link is changed, now what happens to your last C? Okay, so that last C or the variable which points to the last node. Okay, so after 40 is added to the right of 20, 40 becomes my last node. Okay, this becomes my last node, and now we have to pass that. Okay, that is the address. Okay, we have to consider now PTR will be pointing to the last node. Okay, PTR will be always pointing to the last node because we are passing the address of the last node. Okay, so now these two will only change the last node link. Okay, 20 link, if 20 is the last node, 20 link will be now pointing to the new node that is equal to 40, and PTR was earlier pointing to 20. Now PTR will point to 40 because that is my last node. Okay, so that will be returned. So this is the attach function to attach x terms coefficients and attach it to the final result. Okay, see here in attach function, it will just pass the address of the last C. Okay, what is this last C? Last C will hold the starting address of your resultant polynomial variable. Okay, so it is similar to like a plus b result will be stored in the variable called C. Okay, so attach function is completed. Add polynomial is done. Finally, we have to write the evaluate function. So we will check for the evaluate. So while doing the evaluation, you know that we have to pass the values of x, y, and z. The input for this is address of the starting node. Okay. Initially, I'll consider the result to be equal to 0. Then specify x, y, z values. We have to enter those values. Then I'll just define the temporary variable current. Okay. So this is required for identifying the node for appending. Then get the values first. Okay, enter the values of x, y, z, because it should be substituted to the particular polynomial, and scan it. All these are integer types. Okay, get the values of x, y, and z. Okay. So once it is done, we have to start evaluating it. For evaluation, I cannot consider the header node because there is no data specified in the header node. Okay, hence I have to skip the header node. For skipping that, I just have to move the location. Okay, PTR will hold the address of the header node. So using PTR link part, I will just move to the next node. Okay, so this skips header node. Header node is skipped. Okay, after that I have to find out, I have to repeat this procedure until you find the last node, because for every term in the polynomial, for every node you have to fetch values of x and y and do the addition operation. Okay, it is the final resultant. Hence, when current is not equal to PTR, when last node is pointing to header node, we say that it is the last node. We have to repeat this procedure until we find the last node. Okay, so result is computed. Result plus, we have to get the value of coefficient. Okay, it will be multiplied by the power of x, current x, and its exponential. Okay, it is like x to the power of 2. Okay, if the value of this is equal to 2, so we are passing the value here, it will be x to the power of 2, something like that, and we have to assign the value of this x. Okay, so then multiply that with power of y terms, y comma current of y, and multiply that with power of z terms. Okay, z current of z. Okay, so then still if you have a node, we have to just move for the next node by its link path. Okay, when this will be completed, when you reach the last node. Until you reach the last node, compute the result. We'll just substitute the values of x, y, and z and compute the power and multiply that with your coefficient term. Okay, initially result will be 0. As soon as you get the intermediate result for every terms in the polynomial, final result will be stored in result variable. Okay, then you just store it and print it. Okay, result is indicated by %d, then result. Okay, so the final result is printed. Okay, so this is the complete program for polynomial representation, evaluation, and also adding two polynomials. Let us just save it and execute. So I'll just write it as list1.c. I just compile the program. We have some errors. Okay. Maybe we missed. What did we miss? 1 second. X is equal to node of malloc size of struct C list. Okay, X is not required here. Undefined symbol. Okay, it is link, not list. It is link. Undefined symbol cut. Okay, current it is. Okay. Okay, it is double equal, not single equal. Okay. In case 5, it is showing the suspicious pointer conversion. Okay, yeah, it is not printf. We need to display that result. Okay, it is not printf. We are not printing it. It is the display operation. We are displaying the value of C, final result. Okay, now there are no errors and warnings. Let us execute. Still, there is another error. Evaluate in module C. I think evaluate, we have missed some spellings. EVALUATE. Here it is, we have, okay, evaluate, A is missing here. EVALUATE. So now there are no errors and warnings, then we can start. Okay. So I'll include the clear screen operation, clear screen function in the main. Okay. And math.h is already included. It is required for the power function. Okay, so this is the function, this is the menu operation for polynomial. I'll just give choice 1, enter the values of polynomial A. Okay, and it is asking for entering the coefficient and exponential in decreasing order. Okay, so I'll just give the coefficient as 3, exponential for x, exponential for y, exponential for z. Okay, so do you want to continue? I just add a single term, hence I'll give no. So first polynomial is added, I'll give display equal to 3. You can see 3x to the power of 1, yx to the power of 1, zx to the power of 1 is added. Okay. After that, I'll give choice 2. It will ask you for entering the elements of polynomial b, coefficient and exponent. I'll give the same coefficient and exponential for x, y and z. Okay, it is getting added. Then if you want to continue, you can give y. I'll just give it as no. Display 4. Okay, so it is also displaying the polynomial 3x to the power of 1, yx to the power of 1, zx to the power of 1. Okay, so two polynomials is read. First choice and second choice is done, and also third and fourth display operation is working. Okay, now we'll give choice 5. So after adding those two, we had 3xyz and 3xyz. We have two things, that is after adding those two, finally it will be 6xyz. That is resultant. Okay, so for this resultant, we will just evaluate polynomial C. What is C? C is 6xyz. Okay, so I'll give choice 6. It will ask you for the values of x, y, and z. Initially, I'll just give 1, 1, and 1 for this. If it is 1 added for this, what is the final result? Final result will be equal to 6, because 6xyz is my polynomial. For that, you are trying to evaluate. Okay, so similarly, you can add two more terms if you just want to continue. Okay, so finally, after adding all the terms, as of now, I have just added one term for each of the polynomials. So for continuation, you can add two more terms and check whether it is working for two more terms. And when I give 7, it is the exit case. Similarly, if you just want to give two more polynomials, you can give, okay, so 3, 1, 1, 1. You want to continue, give yes. Then again, it will ask for another term. I'll give 2, 1, and 1. Okay, so when you want to enter, just give no. Okay, so display the polynomial 3. You can see there are two terms. In between those terms, plus is appended. Okay, so after it is done, you can go with evaluation if you want, but still it is not added. Okay, give choice 2. For choice 2, you can give the same values like x terms. Okay, I want to continue as give 2, 1, and 1. So now there are two terms in the both the polynomials. I'll give choice 4. It is having two terms. Okay, 3xyz plus 2xy, and in the second polynomial also we are having the same term. Okay, now give choice 5. So after adding, it should be 6xyz plus 4xyz. Okay, now I'll give evaluate 6 option with x, y, and z to be equal to 1. So once you evaluate, it should be 10, because 6 xyz plus 4 xyz. If x and y xyz values is equal to 1, it will be 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 final result is equal to 10. Okay, so now you can check for more number of terms, and finally the seventh case is the exit case. Okay, so this is the example application of singly linked list, where you will be doing the polynomial addition representation with the circular singly linked list. So try this with multiple terms and also complete the tracing of this program. Okay, thank you.